Good morning, everybody. Shango in the morning. What is this, Tuesday? I usually watch most of the games on Monday night, but last night I went to bed. I saw all of the first game, but that second game I kind of crashed out on. Because getting up, I tell you, I get up at today I got up at 3 o'clock, but I get up at 3:30, 3:30, somewhere around there every morning. So at the bottom part of the day, I'm trashed. So last night I was in here trashed, but I got to see most of the Ravens game, so we can talk about that today. And I didn't get to see live the Cardinals win, but I did see it this morning. What's up, C? Good morning. What's up, MVB? How are you guys doing? How are y'all feeling about this week? Hello, Callie. How are y'all feeling about this week? I can't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow we're doing the Dallas versus San Francisco pregame, and I am I am really excited about this game, and I am getting myself really worked up for my first rant of the season if we don't win. We have them in a very, 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 very vulnerable state. I said it yesterday, and as I was saying it yesterday, I was getting furious and more furious, because if the Cowboys don't feel like me and want to beat that team so bad, and need to beat that team so bad for more reasons than just this season, keeping the season alive. That's a main reason by itself. But there's so many more reasons to beat that San Francisco 49ers football team, especially when they're wounded and they're hurt and they're not all together right now. It's going to show what we are. Will we take advantage of this thing, or will we wilt? Because we're going to walk in and we're going to see that color jersey, or going to see that helmet and just wilt away. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to see what we're made of, because to be honest with you, me and this show and what I've been doing from day one on YouTube, I don't follow the national media. That is entertainment. That is something to sell. I look at what I look at. And this season, especially this season, I was so upset. Did not go to training camp. And the main reason why I didn't go to training camp is because I didn't want to get juiced up on players in training camp, like you get juiced up on players in training camp, like Flournoy, Guyton. Who else got pumped up in training camp this year? All the people that got pumped up in training camp this year, I didn't want to be a part of that, because I didn't want to get my feelings hurt. So I said I am only going to pay attention. Let me turn this down a little bit. I'm going to only pay attention to what happens in the season. I know what I think the Cowboys are, and I wanted to just pay attention to what happens this season. And so far this season, nothing has happened that I haven't really expected to happen. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, yesterday. I was like, I don't know who expected us to be. I don't know why we're so upset about the Lions. It's probably the way we looked. I can understand that. But if you still understand how the Lions are built and how we are built, and how the Lions are on another tier than we're on, and then how they have weapons that we can't stop, that a game against the Lions could easily get out of hand. And that game got out of hand. It's a game that got out of hand by a team that's better than the other. So in no way did I think we're on the same tier as the Detroit Lions when it comes to roster-wise. And then also when it comes to coaching, I think they have a nod when it comes to coaching over us as well. So there's no part of me that went into that game with the Detroit Lions that said, man, we can win this game, and in order for me to be upset after it. The only reason why we were upset because it looked so dad blame horrible. It really did. And then the other games, Cleveland and the Giants went exactly. We won those games. It went exactly how it was supposed to go. Nobody expected us to beat the Ravens, and we did. No matter what you think of it, we came within 3 points of them at the end of the football game. But nobody expected us to be there, and not expected us to win that game. And then basically the Steelers and the Saints were basically toss-ups. They're probably like on our level team, and the Saints got us with the same thing the Lions got us with weapons. They have more weapons than what we could stop. So that's why the Saints beat us, but we were able to fight with the Steelers and win that game. So this season, basically 3-3. I thought we were like an average football team, maybe slightly above average football team, but very slightly above average. And I think we're exactly where we're supposed to be. So I haven't had any real emotional outburst really from this season. I'm feeling it for Sunday because we know how bad we hate this football team. We know how bad we don't like this football team. And we coming off of a bye, which is, I mean, come on, you lose coming out of the bye, you should be fired, McCarthy. I mean, seriously, you lose coming out of the bye right now in this situation when you need to win so bad. But we're coming off of a bye. They're not right. They have injuries all over the place. It's so many advantages we have in this game. And if we don't take advantage of that, I might just literally explode. Okay, let me say hey to everybody. All right, what's up, Bear? Sadiqa, what's up? Husky Chipmunk, what's up? Bear, Mead Mugs, how's it going? Top of the morning to you. C. Burleson, of course. What's up, Spark? How you doing? We don't need Kamara. Should we go after Kamara? But I said yesterday, MVB Dad, we are Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, probably Travis Etienne. Is there another one out there that's available? Shoot, one of them running backs for the Jets. They about to fold their season. But there is a few running backs out there that could be had that would give us the NFC East. I don't think it would take much for us to upgrade enough for us to win the NFC East because, as I said yesterday, I'm not a believer in anybody in the NFC East. They're just saying that the Cowboys have. They're talking about the Cowboys now. Do they have a culture problem? Let me turn it up. But they were just talking about have the Eagles figured out their offense, and they just beat the Giants and the Browns. And if we beat the Giants and the Browns, they wouldn't say we have figured out anything. They wouldn't say any of that stuff. How do I know? Because we beat the Browns and we beat the Giants. So, I mean, I want to see them, look good. They looked good last week, but it's all because of Saquon Barkley. I just want to see the Eagles look good. The Commanders, I will admit, have looked a lot better than the Eagles. They have, and it's really frustrating me watching the Commanders. I'm ready to see them, fall into what I am used to seeing those uniforms do. I'm not used to seeing those uniforms just rip up defenses and all that kind of stuff. I'm not liking that. So I'm hoping the real Commanders will show up real soon because that's concerning me. And yesterday, and this past week was an indication of how it concerns me because this is, again, I say it, I'm probably going to say it all season long and forever as long as I'm on YouTube. This is a quarterback base league. So whenever a quarterback is always going to get the credit for whatever a team does. But that Washington team, I'm not taking away anything from the rookie, from Jalen Daniels. He's looking tremendous. However, it is the team that has set him up beautifully. It is their running game that is scaring me, that makes me think that they're not going to just fall. If Jalen Daniels was throwing the ball around, picking teams apart, then I'll be like feeling a little bit more calm because sooner or later that tape is going to get out of what he's doing and the defense will figure that out. When they got a powerful running game with Brian Robinson Jr. No, they're just going to run down your throat, and there's no scheming you can do for that. You gotta put on your chin strap, and you gotta hit a dude to stop that. So that's what concerns me more with the Commanders, and their physicality of how they're playing the game. Poppy Taylor says, Shango, the 49ers bench would beat the Cowboys. You know what, Poppy Taylor? That's what makes me mad, because if the 49ers bench beats the Cowboys, we are weak up here. You understand what I'm saying? If they roll out anybody in the 49ers uniform and they come and beat the Cowboys, it's up here. Either they're smarter than us or they're more intense than us, but it's all mental. It's all mental. So that's what will make me upset, because there's no way that what let me I just saw it this morning. Let me see if I can find it. It was on hold on. It was on my TikTok. Let me see if I can scroll back and see if I can get to it. But it had all the Niners. It had all the Niners. Maybe it was last night, because I'm going back far. Man, did I scroll this much this morning? Jeez. Get a life, dude. Get a life, man. Oh, that's Deebo Samuel's being big. Man, guys, I need to get a life. This is crazy. I didn't know I scrolled this much. I'm just going back and trying to get the... I should have saved it somewhere, because I said I need this for the show. This is crazy. I know I didn't look at this much. Yeah, I did. I remember seeing that one. I'm about to stop in a second. This is crazy. There it is. All right. Christian McCaffrey. Just patience, guys. Patience. I'll get there. We got Christian McCaffrey, Achilles injury. We got Brandon Ayuk, which was just sad to see. Horrible. A knee injury. We got George Kittle with a foot injury. We got Deebo Samuel with pneumonia. We got Dre Greenlaw with Achilles. We got Justin Hargrave with the triceps injury. We got Jake Moody with the ankle injury. We got Talonga Hufanga with the wrist injury. And we got Juan Jennings with a hip injury. So those are all, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 major injuries for the 49ers. If they roll out a team without 9 of those, maybe 1 or 2 of those guys will play, but if they could roll out without at least 7 of those guys and still beat the Dallas Cowboys, how mad will you be? How mad will you be? It said, I don't know. M Skills says, I don't know, Shango. We'll be able to tell how this game will go out the first. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll see what we got when that game starts. We definitely will see. Not only do the 49ers have a lot of injuries, they're not playing well. That's what Rodney per year. I know what we have, they're a better football team than the 49ers on paper, of course. Yes. They've always been a better team. But have you watched the 49ers this season? Because every season is a different season. The Minnesota Vikings this season are not near the Minnesota Vikings of that last season. So the Commanders this season are nowhere near like the Commanders of last season. So seasons are different. This season, have you watched the San Francisco 49ers? And if you have watched the San Francisco 49ers, have they impressed you in any way whatsoever? Because I've watched them, and they have not impressed me. So that's number 2. They have not been playing well all year. No matter what you think of them, no matter how bad they have worked us in the past, because that is all true. But this season, they have not played well to date. And if they come and play well against us, I am as furious can get, because it's mental. You're scared of those colors. You're scared of that scheme. You're scared of something that you can't mentally overcome. Because if they roll out the people that are their backups aren't better than you. Their starters are better than you. Their backups are not better than you. Mean Mug says, Derrick Henry, oh my God, man, what a miss. Did you hear Troy Aikman and And they'll talk about Henry and say, "Oh man, the teams that missed out on him." He said, "Yeah, I think he lives in Dallas too. You know any teams?" It was funny. It was hilarious. Dow Cowboy says, Good morning, Shango. Believe in allowing around 18 free agents to walk out of Bill Parker. Yeah, that's what I've always said that. Dow Cowboys from I've been on this thing since Amari Cooper left, and I was okay with Amari Cooper leaving. I was not okay with what Amari Cooper left for, and I was not happy with not replacing what Amari Cooper was to our offense. And what Amari Cooper was to our offense was that guy who was always open. I wasn't a big fan of Amari Cooper. He wasn't. I like Cooper, whatever. But one thing about Cooper, he ran a route. And he was in the middle of teaching CD how to run crisp, perfect routes or whatever. And as soon as you remember that the season that he got traded, there was a video going around where he was training CD and showing him how to make moves and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, Amari's getting CD right. And when Amari left, I was like, man, now who's going to teach CD these routes? That's the first thing that went on my mind. And then why do we get nothing for him? And then why didn't we replace what Amari Cooper did? Why don't we have anybody else that's going to be open on any play? We've always had that. We've had it with Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley was always open on third down. We're going to Cole Beasley because he's going to do he's going to do a zig and he's going to be wide open because you don't have anybody that can cover that. Nobody had anybody that could cover that. So we needed somebody like that for Dak Prescott to keep to keep it open. You know what I'm saying? But it never happened. So we never replaced the guys that were going out. Up until this last season, we let Pollard go out. We like our guys. We replace Pollard with Ezekiel Elliott. Good morning, Shango. Believe around Andrew Ward. If San Francisco's roster is actually better than ours without all those guys on their roster, then we need to just stop. We need to just stop trying, and nobody better say a word about our front office and how well we draft and how well Will McClay is. And if that is actually true, then we're doing it wrong, and we need to gut the whole front office. I don't want to believe that just now. Magic Toaster, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost to injured 49ers team that's playing bad. I wouldn't be surprised, but Magic Toaster, that would tell me everything about our team. Now, like I said, this team has not. We're latching on to last season. We're latching on to that Green Bay game, and we're latching on to old stuff. This team this season has done everything I thought they were going to do. They could not beat Detroit. No matter how hard they try. I know we were wishing for the best. No matter what they went to do out there, they would not. They could play Detroit 3 or 4 times right now at this current stage of both teams. Well, with Detroit when they were full power, Detroit would win every time. There was just nothing we could do. The Saints were the same way. When that game got out of the way, there's nothing we can do. But then what I saw with the Steelers is something I hadn't seen in a long time. And we want to just brush that out of the way. Just like the comeback with Baltimore. People get mad at me when I talk about the comeback with Baltimore that we actually had a chance to win at the end of that game. That if that game was 3 or 4 minutes longer, we probably would have won that game. People get mad at me for saying that. They will not give the team credit for that. But I will, because they did. And what they did against Pittsburgh, they won't give the team credit for that. I will. That showed fight what they did. It showed tremendous fight against a real football team, not against a tomato can. Not against a tomato can, a real defense. They did that versus. So I know they're capable, but I know they're playing behind 8 ball when it comes to the roster. I know they are. So in my opinion, in my humble opinion, our ceiling is one playoff victory. I don't think we can get past one playoff victory. But I want to get us to that playoff victory. You know what I'm saying? I want to do whatever we can to get us to that ceiling, just to see if we can break through the ceiling. But my ceiling for us and what I want to get us to is one playoff victory this season. because it would be better last year. And that would be the best that I feel that our team can do. Can we get to the division round? No. Can we get to anybody past? No, I don't think so. But that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, we let a lot walk out. A lot of stuff. I want a cheap running back and a good receiver. We need a number 2. I understand what we're doing right now. We're kind of not letting any rumors go out that we're looking for anybody, and we're seeing what we have with Tolbert and Flournoy. Flournoy hadn't flashed yet, but I know he's going to get another opportunity. I know he feels horrible about that fumble, and that's really bad luck for your first pass. You get fumble, and Tolbert has flashed, so I think we're going to give them a minute right up to this trading deadline, and if they don't do anything, then we'll get somebody in. I think Brandon Cook is cooked in Dallas. I don't think he's missing too much time. Maybe he'll come back in during the playoffs if we get to the playoffs or whatever, but I wouldn't expect much from Cooks this season. That's the problem. That's the main. I'm not more worried about the San Francisco 49ers on the field on Sunday. Skills, it's the coaching advantage. It's the San Francisco 49ers coaching advantage that has the problem. It's what beat us with the Saints when we looked really out of position against the Saints. When we really looked out of position against the Green Bay Packers, it was all that system. So sometimes systems, especially the Shanahan system, it makes the players much better. Cali Cowboy says, listening to the Niners station up here, and they're talking about how Shanahan play calling is predictable and no creativity. I know. One man's trash is another man's trailer. I know. It's probably very boring to them because they've seen it over and over. And you know what? You always get called with no creativity when it's not working. Garrett asked, Shango, could Zimmer be throwing the defense in hopes McCarthy would get fired? No, it's just a new defense, Garrett. You know it takes time for a new defense and a new scheme to start to gel. But I don't really want Zimmer or McCarthy. I don't want anybody over the age of 50. I want at least a 4. That's old to me, a 40-something old coach. Bear said they're still better than Dallas to me. Their mentality is still what can overcome injuries versus us. Bear, have you seen that mentality this season? It's like I know what you're saying. We're talking about the 49ers of last year. And every year a team is different. They come in with a different mentality. They come in with a different energy. I have not seen that mentality that has been destroying us over and over. I hadn't seen that mentality over with other, like was it last year when San Francisco played Baltimore and both of them tried to kill each other out there on the field? It was like crazy. And most seasons that they just roll over people. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen that. So it's hard for me to, when they were doing it to us, it wasn't personal. Okay? The San Francisco 49ers just didn't just see the Cowboys and say, oh, this is the team that we beat. This is the team that we roll. No, they roll everybody until they get to the Super Bowl, and then they roll nobody. But they roll everybody. So when they're not rolling everybody, it's hard for me to think they're just going to get up and roll us and then go back down to not rolling nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying about that mentality, but that mentality, it simply is not there right now. And if we don't up our game to beat that mentality or whatever they have right now, it's going to make me so upset. It's ridiculous. Not that Lions game. Not the Ravens game, of course. I was really actually a little proud of how they acted in the Ravens games. A lot of you aren't, but I am. I was really disappointed with the Saints. That took my gut. That hit me in the gut, rather. Hey, that comment about the roster was in reference to the Commanders when he was, I don't know what you're saying, Andrew. What? I can't remember. My mind is bad, especially in the morning. Now, actually, my morning mind is the best mind. Well, yeah, no one has brought up our injuries, Patricia. Isn't that interesting? Nobody's brought up our injuries, but I don't think it would. I think maybe I don't think it would affected the Saints and the what other game? Lions game for sure. The Saints and Lions, they killed us. I don't care who we had out there. And McCarthy said one of those press conferences he had something planned for the 49ers game. McCarthy need a hush. McCarthy need a hush. Especially a scheme that has owned you, McCarthy. You need a hush. What do you mean? Do you think our offense, Leandro? The Texas Coast offense? Is that what you're talking about? I just don't think it has the pieces for any offense to work in Dallas right now. Yeah. I just don't get I can't go with the Cowboys are the worst team in the league narrative, guys. I just can't. I mean, it's just it is media. When we lose, we're the worst in the league. When we win, are the Cowboys coming back? Are the Cowboys going to be? It's like it's way too much. It's way too much. So no matter what we win this season, even if we go on some kind of roll crazily this season, remember, our cap is only a playoff victory. They will if we win some games, they will. It was like last year. Last year's a perfect example. Last year, we got juiced up so much that we actually thought we had a chance in the playoffs. And you know good and well that we had no business in the playoffs, that we backed in the playoffs because Philadelphia was so bad. Philadelphia is the one that ruined their season and then just propped us up in the spot that they vacated, basically. So that's why I don't believe in Philadelphia, because they screwed us last year by losing everything and putting us in that spot that we got killed by Green Bay. Should have let them get killed by Green Bay. But no, we're not. I don't expect much of us in the long term simply because we don't have a roster. We have not had people to put together a roster that could win it all since, like I said, I think yesterday was 2000 rookies, Zeke's rookie year, when we had Zeke and we thought we was going to have Romo. I think that was the one time we had a Super Bowl roster coming in the beginning of the season. What's up, Dow Cal? Top of the morning to you. I don't know. I kind of ready to see that. I'm ready to see something. Micah's going to be ready. Well, the Saints are having. That's why I said injuries, Andrew Ward, are just. I said at the bottom, injuries are changing this season landscape. Last night, what's happening with the Bucks, with their receivers is. I don't know about when is Mike Evans gonna come back, because I know what's his name is gone for the season. So the Bucks took a serious blow. I mean, a serious blow. You got to think we're in the shape that we are in because we don't have a wide receiver too. They just lost both of their receivers. So I don't know. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bland is going to be. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers could go south quick, just like the Saints. The Saints injuries, I don't the list of the Saints injuries, but when I was looking at the comments of those 49ers injuries, they said the Saints injuries clear. So whatever's going on in New Orleans, they think that their injuries are worse than what the injuries that's going on in San Francisco. So you got those. Even Detroit is getting hit with some things that's not really nice. I don't want Detroit to get hurt because, if we don't win it all, I think most of us are really like the way that football team plays and want to see them have some success. But they are hitting some injuries. And then the Jamison Williams thing today with him getting suspended for 2 games for cheating. For substance abuse or whatever, but it could have been just a performance drink. But yeah, Evans might be out for a while. So it's we don't know how we saw the first part of the season. All right, we're done with pretty much the first block of the season. So we have kind of like a snapshot of who's good and who's bad. I believe the Ravens are probably the best team in the league. I think the Ravens and the Detroit Lions are two of the best teams in the league at that point. And those are two of our losses. So those losses I'm really okay with, because we're not the only person they're looking great versus. They're looking great versus everybody. I mean Henry is killing everybody else. So I just don't think that we're too much this way or too much that way at the moment. Should we genuinely look to trade Micah during the draft? I would. I just don't see that happening because of the star factor of what Micah is. You know what I'm saying? He's too big of a star for the Cowboys to get rid of. He's too famous. He's too known. You know what I'm saying? It's just like for the Cowboys to trade a player that's like that popular. It's just like that doesn't compute in my brain. But it would make sense on the football field because you could get a lot of assets for Micah, a whole lot of assets. You can get people to overpay. Basically, he's a player that they will overpay for. Shango, Dak is too comfortable. He needs to demand. Yeah, that's been my current critique on Dak is that he needs to be in Jerry's face, in the front office all the time, saying, I like the guys out there. Can we get better? I like my guys, but can we get better? I like my guys, but can we get better? Because just them staying pat and not getting the running back, I don't understand the mentality of that, because it does not say I'm trying to get better. It does not say I'm doing something to get better. So that's most of our issues with the Dallas Cowboys. We just sat and hope we get better, and we don't want them to succeed like this. We want them to fail, because we want to see you actually working, bringing in players to get better. We don't want you to say, oh, well, in 2024, we let everybody go and still made the playoffs, because that's going to set precedents for Jerry to do it in the future. And we don't really want that. But if it happens, I'm still happy. This is a Dak prove it game. I don't think this season proves anything with Dak. I really don't. The only thing he can prove is that he's Superman, which I really seriously doubt he is. But that's the only thing he can prove this year. That he can do it without that he's a quarterback, not like any other, that can do it without an offensive line, that can do it without a running game, and we do it with only one receiver, him and CD. That's the only thing he can prove this year. And he's not. Do you think the Cowboys will run the ball over 60 yards a game with the Niners? I don't know, M Skills. I don't know. I really have a complete blank for the game. Them not having Hargrave is big when it comes to running the football. So I have a real blank in my head when it comes to us and the way we are at this current state, and the San Francisco 49ers at where they are in the current state. I'm telling you, both teams are hovering at average. Where are they at average? I don't know. Which team is a little above average or which team is a little below average? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out on Sunday. But right now, neither team is very good, and neither team is on the trajectory for the playoffs at the moment. How do we fix this horrible safety play? I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. How MVB Dad? How long have we been begging for a safety? I mean, forever. Why they bring Dalvin Cook and not play him? What I think respect the star is, before they brought Dalvin Cook in, Dalvin Cook was on the internet, and he was doing a long. He was doing a race. I think it was a longer race. It wasn't a sprint, but he raced a skinny dude named Better Derek from one of these betting sites. I don't know which one, and I don't want to give him props or give the wrong person's props or whatever. But Better Derek, whoever he works for, outran Dalvin Cook, and it really made him look really bad. Go look it up on YouTube. It made Dalvin Cook look really bad. And Dalvin Cook was like, "You want to box next time?" And Better Derrick said, "I'm a boxer too. We can do that. We can do that." So he just stepped up to Dalvin Cook. I mean, like, and the dude is this skinny. I mean, the dude, you have to look at it. And I'm like, you letting this little dude punk you like this, Dalvin Cook? You know, and if that, I don't know. I need to see Dalvin Cook on the field with real grown men running over him now. I really do. Because for him to be outrun by that guy, and then that guy saying, "Oh, I'll fight you too," you know, into his face, it made me think a lot lesser of Dalvin Cook. So now I need Dalvin Cook going through somebody's chest. Right? Jamal, he's done. I think he's toast. Jamal Adams is toast. Oh, no. No. That's what I used to say. That yeah, no. The 49ers will be a tomato can. Then that's the only time the 49ers are going to get any press this year, because they have not talked about the 49ers at all season, because there's nothing to talk about. But this year, this Sunday, they're going to talk about the 49ers. And if we beat them, 49ers will be just like the Giants, just a tomato can. The 49ers are just bad this year. The 49ers, it'll be all about the 49ers being bad rather than us doing anything. But just don't worry about that. Like I said, every season is different, and the national media have their own narrative that they have to run for clicks and views and money purposes. But in the real thing of what's happening this season, we're an average football team. And our record shows it. Our record shows it, and the teams we won, beat, and the teams we lost to all prove that we're like right down the middle in our comfortable little spot. What's up, angry Cowboys fan? That makes us angry. Hey, hi, angry Cowboys fan. That's what they always do. We stay right there in the middle, right? Cuddled. All right, was that everything? And what I said, heading down here at the bottom, I do think right now the Ravens are the best team in football. Oh, where we get that one interception that would change the game? Yeah. But I think the Ravens are, from what we saw last night, I just don't know. You're going to have to be built different. Kansas City got a team that can do it, but you're going to have to be built different to be able to stop the King Henry and Lamar Jackson running combo, because that is power and speed like we've never seen before. We've never seen this before. And it's power and speed, and it's usually one got the power and one got the speed, but one got the power and the speed, and the other one's got the speed and some power. Because I was telling about Lamar. I was telling somebody about the difference between Lamar and Jalen Daniels. And Jalen Daniels is he's slight. You know what I'm saying? He's not. There he is. Perfect time calling. He's a thin dude. You know, he's not hard like Lamar Jackson is. That's why Lamar is slippery. He's a slippery tackle, because when you hit him, he's skinny thick. You know what I'm saying? He, you know those dudes. They're skinny, but they're still, when you touch them, they're like hard as I don't know what. And that's Lamar Jackson. So that's their combination that I don't think that can be stopped right now by anybody but maybe the Chiefs. And that's it. I'm thinking hard. That's it. And then on the NFC side, Detroit took some hits, man. Detroit took some hits. They'll get over the Jameson Williams thing, because he'll do these suspension during the season. They'll probably win both of those games. If they not, they go 1-1, still fine. They'll get over it, whatnot. But he'll be back for the playoffs. You just don't want to get injured. That's been his thing. Can Lamar finally beat Mahomes in the playoff? Respect the star. Mahomes was beaten. The last 3 years we've had an average Mahomes. We just he's been average until he needs to win. Then he's been fantastic. But in their game last year, he had a less than average Mahomes in the playoff game. And all Lamar had to do was something. That's all Lamar had to do last year in the game was something, and he would have finally beat Mahomes. And he did nothing. And it was that defense. It was that. So this year, the Ravens added Henry onto that. So I think if Lamar can't do nothing, Henry can, and that's going to help Lamar to finally overcome Mahomes. Like I said, the quarterbacks can't do it by themselves. They need players around. They need the right players around them, not just players. They need the right players around them. And I think, like I said earlier when we first started, I think Henry is the right player for Baltimore. Henry wouldn't be doing that with us. I know it's good. It's fun to say about how we missed on Henry, and trust me, it was a miss. But how well he's working with the Ravens would not be the same with the Cowboys by any stretch of the imagination. Just make sure you know that. He would not be leading the league in rushing. He would not be looking like that. Yep. What was the pause? What did I say? Ravens lost their corners last night too. Who did my man from Clemson get hurt? Did Nate get hurt? Bear? Calvin Patel asked what exactly did Jameson Williams take to get suspended for 2 games. They didn't say it didn't say PED. It said PES. So performance enhancement substance, not drug. So he probably drank something or something that's on that list, and he can't prove that he didn't. So he said he has to eat it. But it does feel like Detroit versus everybody. I'm about to jump on the side of Detroit. It does start to feel like Detroit versus everybody. The league is always doing something to Detroit. That's what I saw on because I saw a Detroit guy posted on YouTube or whatever, a Detroit YouTuber, and all his comments was like Detroit versus everybody. Detroit versus everybody. Yeah, fans just assumed that Henry would do that with us, but he wasn't. He wouldn't. Yeah. Humphrey and Stevens. Okay. Just being no. Now it was Henry again. Henry would be another person that would give us the division. If we had got Henry, we definitely would be winning the division right now. He wouldn't look as good as he is with the Ravens, but he would be a threat to give Dak more time in the backfield, and he would get something. He would be marginally better than what we have at the moment. Yep. Yeah, it's probably something like that. Probably some kind of drink that he shouldn't have taken. But yeah, man, I'm ready for this middle boring part of the season. That's when you don't get many views. Everybody starts, just checking in with scores and stuff like that. But me and you, we're going to be here. We're going to be here watching this middle part of the season. And then the end part of the season things start picking up because teams get ready for the playoffs. And then the playoffs are insane. Will we be there? I don't know. I don't think much of us, but I don't think much of a lot of teams right now. So it's just like, I don't know. Jerry about to do his interview. All right, let me go. Let me listen to that while I get the kids up. But it's time for Jerry ain't gonna go to see him. He could if he wanted to, Mario. He could if he wanted to. All right, guys. Have a great morning. Great show. Tomorrow we will be doing the preview of San Francisco and Dallas. So we'll go in depth on all the pieces that they are missing and how we could possibly take advantage of those pieces or whatever, and what pieces they have available. Like for instance, one person is Fred. Fred Warner makes their defense, almost the same as ours by himself. Fred Warner can just put great pressure on the entire offense by himself. So we'll talk about stuff like that tomorrow, and we'll get ready for this game I'm so excited for. I really am.